Sunlight dripped through the canopy, painting the forest floor in a mosaic of light and shadow. Ancient trees, their bark gnarled and wise, stood sentinel over a world untouched by time. This was the domain of Thalnor, an ent as old as the forest itself. His skin, like bark, rippled with the passage of centuries. His eyes, emerald pools reflecting the lifeblood of the forest, held the deep wisdom of ages. Thalnor moved with the slow grace of the ancient forest, his steps a whisper against the mossy earth. He felt the pulse of the forest in his roots, heard its secrets whispered on the wind. This was his responsibility, his purpose, to guard this sacred grove. A low rumble echoed through the trees, a sound ancient and powerful. It was a sound that spoke of strength and resilience, a sound that resonated deep within Thalnor's ancient heart. A new presence had arrived in his domain. Eleanor, her hide like ancient leather, pushed through the undergrowth. Her tusks, gleaming white against the forest shadows, spoke of battles weathered and wisdom earned. Her steps, though heavy, carried a grace that belied her size. She was a force of nature, as ancient and powerful as the forest itself. Her trunk, a symphony of muscle and sensitivity, explored the air, tasting the scents of the forest. She smelled the damp earth, the sweet nectar of blooming flowers, and the ancient, comforting scent of the ent. He was unlike anything she had ever encountered. Eleanor approached Thalnor with cautious curiosity. Her ears, large and expressive, twitched as she assessed the giant being before her. His size was imposing, his presence awe-inspiring, yet she sensed no threat, only a deep, abiding peace. "Greetings," Thalnor rumbled, his voice a deep resonance that seemed to emanate from the earth itself. "What brings you to my forest, Great One?" Eleanor raised her trunk in greeting, her dark eyes reflecting the wisdom of generations. "I have traveled far," she replied, her voice a low rumble. "My home, the savannah, is no longer safe." The words hung heavy in the air, a lament for a lost paradise. "This forest has always offered sanctuary," Thalnor said, a hint of sadness in his voice. "But even this ancient refuge is not immune to the destructive touch of those who do not understand." He had sensed a growing darkness approaching, a threat to the very heart of his domain. A tremor ran through the earth, a discordant note in the forest's symphony. The scent of smoke tainted the air, a bitter tang that spoke of destruction. Fear, sharp and primal, flickered in Eleanor's eyes. She too knew the signs of encroaching danger. "They come," Thalnor said, his voice grave. He could feel the vibrations of their approach, the relentless march of destruction that threatened to consume his ancient home. The time for peace was over. The time for defense had arrived. Eleanor lowered her head, her tusks gleaming in the dappled sunlight. She had faced countless threats in her long life, but never had she felt such a profound sense of urgency. This was not just about survival, it was about protecting something sacred, something irreplaceable. The invaders came, their voices harsh and discordant in the stillness of the forest. They came with tools of destruction, their eyes blinded by greed. But they had underestimated the guardians of this ancient realm, the protectors of the forest's heart. Thalnor, his branches a whirlwind of fury, sent the intruders scattering. Trees groaned and swayed, their roots tearing at the earth as they joined the fight. Eleanor, a symphony of trumpeting rage, charged into the fray, her tusks a whirlwind of ivory. The forest, awakened from its slumber, rose up in defiance. Creatures great and small joined the fight, their survival inextricably linked to the fate of their ancient home. The air crackled with the fury of nature unleashed, a symphony of resistance against the forces of destruction. The invaders, their greed no match for the ferocity of the forest's defenders, were driven back. The forest, wounded but unbroken, slowly began to heal. The air, no longer thick with smoke and fear, rang with the triumphant calls of its protectors. Thalnor and Eleanor stood side by side, their forms silhouetted against the setting sun. Their bond, forged in the fires of battle, would become legend, a testament to the power of unity in the face of adversity. The forest, forever changed, would bear the scars of that day, a reminder of the battle fought and won. But it would also bear the legacy of the ent and the elephant, a testament to the enduring power of compassion, courage, and the unbreakable bond between all living things.